Oh, right, I forgot to cut the top. Ha 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 ha, that part. Here we go. That's not bad. That's pretty good. All right, let's do some shaping, shall we? Well, that was a lot of fun. I know that was a mostly silent build, but I got a spoon out of it. And this is, I know you see another spoon here. This is a practice spoon. This is my very first spoon I have ever made. I have been thinking about it for years, and clearly I bought the right chisels. And I haven't made a spoon. I've been meaning to make a spoon. I bought this big piece of African mahogany specifically to make spoons out of. And the other day, I happened to see this, I happened to see someone who had drawn a spoon on a flat piece of wood and had started with the bowl. And for some reason, that order of operations spoke to me, and I was like, oh, I get it. Carve the bowl first. Come up with, all right, when you're doing something creative, when I am doing something creative, when I'm doing something creative, I'm always looking for the handle with which to grab the thing aesthetically. And so there's this beginning part where, you're drawing and it's all open form and blue sky, and it all sort of, you have an idea about the parameters, but it's all loosely formed. And when I saw that thing of like starting with the bowl, I was like, oh, right. Because the interface of a spoon is the bowl. So if I get that to a place I like, so I started last night, I made a hemispherical bowl and I mucked around with a spoon and I wasn't very happy with that. But that gave me enough of an understanding. And then I woke up this morning and thought a long bowl. And so I carved this bowl, and as I carved it, the spoon's shape began to make sense to me. And I know that sounds like, of course it would once you started making it, but the bowl was the aesthetic handle with which I start to shake loose the rest of the aesthetic decisions. That's what it is. In the totality of a creative enterprise, consider all of the creative decisions like leaves. And as you're looking at the tree that will be your completed project, you realize that each of those leaves is an intersection and a choice point. And to climb that tree, I like this metaphor. To climb that tree, you need to grab onto a branch that you could start to shake loose the other decisions. I know, deciduous trees, and the metaphor doesn't perfectly scan, but I really, really, first of all, also African mahogany, super lightweight. Feels like it barely exists yet, nice and strong. Like this is, anyway. I love this, that from this came this. What could be better? Also, I've seen a lot of things where there are spoon making classes, and if you're thinking about taking one, here is my vote to go take that class. My wife has been recently taking some woodworking and clay sculpting and other maker classes in the Bay Area. I know that's funny, right? She's my wife, but we all have our own intersection for how we go do that stuff. And she's having a real renaissance with her hands in the making of things. And so she came here the other day and was like, okay, show me the wood tools that you have. I might come in next weekend and maybe we'll play around. And reader, we're going to. And as far as a gateway drug goes, a spoon, if you're thinking about taking that class in spoon making, go take it. Thank me later. Also, I love that my spoon is not bilaterally symmetrical. It's got a here. It's got a bigger, fatter part here than here. And I love every inch of it. I simply finished this with some dark stain and some glycerin, which is what you treat your chopping block with. It's a food-safe oil. It will, soak it in over time. I'll add another couple of treatments. But thanks for joining me for this spoon build. I'll see you guys next time. No, it's not going to work. No. This is something I really, really love. Michelangelo was famous for saying that the trick to sculpting is to remove all the things that don't look like the object you're sculpting. So in his making of Michelangelo's David, I guess he didn't call it Michelangelo's David, he said, all I did was remove all the parts of the marble that didn't look like David. But that's what this is here. This is the record of all the parts. Yes. This is the record of all the parts of the mahogany that don't look like, that aren't the spoon. I love this. So again, I started with the bowl, carved out the bowl until I felt like I had a point of view on how I wanted the shape of the spoon to play out. I kept carving the bowl until I felt like I had a shape that felt good in my hand. I was feeling it like this. And then once I had the bowl to my satisfaction, I draw out the spoon, I cut it out, I make this cut, I turn it and tape it, I make this cut. Yeah, I think I'm going to save this. This is a lovely, lovely educational tool, right? Yeah, that is awesome. In the sanding, I thought I might start out using this, but the disc sander is too monolithically flat, and the surface area is too large to get any work on the spoon, which is why I went to my new belt sander, which actually did spectacularly. I need to put some dust mitigation on this, but besides that, this was great. It's foot pedal powered, and I did a lot of the main shaping on this. And again, as I'm shaping, I'm just like, try not to go too far. Just trying to come up to each decision, creep up on it, see it, execute it, move on to the next one. Once I got the main shaping done on this, and again, I was only concentrating on the bowl, figuring that once I had the bowl, I knew what I wanted out of the bowl. And so that once that was aesthetically complete, then it's time to move on to the smaller details. And that's when this knife grinder, Tom Sachs told me about many years ago, came into play. Also foot pedal powered. And to be fair, you could do the whole thing with this. To be fair, you could do the whole thing with a carving knife. Sanders are a luxury tool, as is the bandsaw. The fact is, you could execute this spoon and it would only take a little longer, like an hour or two longer, maybe, than it did me to do this. This is about a 2.5 hour execution. Right, so then all it required, not this one, belt sander. I have two, but one is fine. And the bandsaw, nice and simple. Go make yourself a spoon. Spoon! Thank you guys so much for watching that video. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you we have some excellent merch. We have a 5-pack of demerit badges for sale right now at tested/store.com. We've got the I hung it off of level demerit badge, the I built the chair backwards demerit badge, the I hit my thumb with a hammer demerit badge. We've got the stapler in my finger demerit badge, and my favorite, I stuck the duct tape to itself demerit badge. Get yours now, tested/store.store. Tested. It's right here. There. Just click there.